But here's the catch. These apples are fresh and they're grown at a farm here in Madison County. They're picked and then 2 days later, they're on the lunch trays of Madison City students as well as Madison County students. Huntsville police has seen an increase in the number of homes being broken into. Number one reason, people are opening their windows because the weather's nice, but they're not closing them. They're not only able to study the physics side of the research, but they're also able to analyze what those lightning strikes are saying about the storm and how that storm can affect you. Instead of spending $2 on a bottle of Coke or maybe a bag of chips, you can come here, stand in this long line, and enter your chance to win close to $500 million. Makerspace includes things like 3D printers, where you can print anything from a lion to a frog that you can dissect in science class. Police officers say it doesn't matter if you go inside for 30 seconds. That's how long it takes for you to come back out and realize that your driveway is empty. So again, if you see a car wrapped in yellow tape just like this, that means they've already responded to the scene and that it is clear. In fact, the FBI told me that this is one of the largest amounts of cocaine that they have seen compromised in about a decade. A lot of manpower went into this investigation and the hard work continues. This case has a bizarre twist and investigators are determined to get answers. If you think this building right here is impressive on the outside, wait till I take you inside. When I arrived at the apartments earlier today, investigators were talking to neighbors. They were searching the apartment for any evidence that would lead them to an arrest. I spoke with Greg's older brother this afternoon, and he told me that Greg is doing better. Doctors say his heart is functioning on his own, which is great news, and his family is just so incredibly thankful for the overwhelming support they've received from the Tennessee Valley. Law enforcement also used this opportunity to warn those that are still pushing drugs in Madison or Morgan County to consider themselves warned and that they are being watched. Guys, police officers and firefighters are geared up for a long evening. They are doing everything in their power to make sure that drivers stay safe and to prevent accidents. I actually just watched police officers put up barricades here at Memorial Parkway. They're blocking off the overpasses. Majority of those are closed right now. I spoke with an investigator this afternoon and she told me that even though there's been an arrest made, this case is still a very active investigation. This victim did have a criminal history in the past. Investigators say that will aid them in this investigation, but as of now, it's too early to tell who else was involved and what led to the shooting in the first place. Guys. Grocery store chaos. Not something that people enjoy. They aim to get what they need and to get out. It's a blissful moment when you make your way to the cashier, unloading the groceries bought to feed your family, not thinking about how to help others until they ask.
Would you like to donate to Canned Hunger?
We've all been there, but let me show you what it means to say yes. Those generous donations given in November have now provided 40,000 pounds of food to those who need it most.
Not only are we donating a truckload of much needed product, but we're also making a donation for $9,000 as part of our annual gift to the Food Bank of North Alabama.
Silencing starving stomachs all over Alabama.
On an annual basis, we are supplying 7.5 million pounds of food a year, and so we just rely on partners like Kroger to make that happen.
Next time,
It's $1.
don't get caught up in the old hustle and bustle. Take a second to think about the impact just $1 makes. In Huntsville,
Really need to rely upon neighbors helping neighbors.
Hannah Ward,
So thank you.
WHNT News 19. It was an ordinary day for several of the employees that work at this shopping plaza, but it was interrupted with gunfire. Now they say coming to work will never be the same. Just another day at work.
Regular day, we were just doing hair and
That all changed in just a few seconds.
we heard the gunshots and we didn't really know what it was, but a couple of our girls went outside, I guess not thinking it was gunshots. We didn't really know what it was. So
What they discovered,
a man was yelling for us to get back inside and lock the doors because there was a man shooting. So we all came inside and locked the doors.
they were in shock that something like this happened just a few doors down, and even in their community.
It's kind of crazy because we've never really, Chattanooga is such a strong community. We've never had issues like this before. So it was kind of so unexpected. This is a place where you would never expect that to happen.
Coming to work will not be the same for a long time.
Now I'm just really scared. I think we're all just going to be have our guards up and move forward and just pray nothing like this happens here again.
The girls at the salon told me that they usually eat lunch right next door to where the incident happened. They also said that they're glad they decided to eat somewhere else yesterday. Live in Chattanooga, Hannah Ward, WHNT News 19. We've all been woken by thunderstorms.
It was so loud that you actually felt it.
Jessica Crick says it sounded like a bomb.
Assumed it was probably lightning or thunder, but I was pretty sure it must have hit something.
And that bomb sound caused quite the explosion. When the lightning struck the tree, it actually caused the tree to explode and send pieces of bark as big as this one, some even bigger, all over Jessica and her neighbor's yard. But the neighbors, they suffered a little bit more.
You can see where it came down the tree through the root system, and then it blew the top off of the irrigation system, and then it traveled through the wires to the garage.
That's where the real damage happened.
The wiring system exploded off the wall.
Phil Bitzer is a professor at UAH and studies lightning.
That current actually flows on the outside of a tree that travels around the tree and down the tree.
This lightning strike traveled a long way.
It's a special class of lightning that actually can last for a relatively long time. And for us, a relatively long time means half a second.
30 seconds was all it took.
That's a long time in the lightning world.
Long enough to travel through the sprinkler system and reach the garage.
And I even talked to some other people in the neighborhood who said their dishes rattled in their kitchens.
And loud enough to wake up the whole neighborhood. In Madison County, Hannah Ward, WHNT News 19. In the evening, after a long week at work, you might plan to meet friends downtown for a drink, and you don't want to drive. That's a perfect opportunity to use Uber. The app is super easy to navigate. It already picks up on your exact location. It even shows you drivers that are in your surrounding area. So then all you have to do is click on a driver. It'll even show you how long that driver will take to get to your exact location. Most of the time, it's less than 2 minutes. Once you select your driver, they will be notified and on their way to pick you up. The app even tracks the driver on the way to your location. He's here. The first approved Uber driver in Huntsville.
It's more than making money for me. It's more of the experience.
Something to do in his spare time or after work,
I'm a software engineer.
which keeps him in the know.
I'm 55 years old, and I heard about Uber, 3 years ago? Something like that, and I said, oh, this is going to be huge.
That will soon take off right here.
I think it's very cool. I think it's hip. It's kind of an interesting thing. It's perfect for Huntsville.
Once you and your driver arrive at your destination, you click pay, and your phone automatically pays the driver. It's easy, fast, and convenient. In Huntsville, Hannah Ward, WHNT News 19. Absolutely. Starting December 6th, CVS Pharmacy will not be open past 9 o'clock p.m. And on the weekends, they'll only stay open until 6 o'clock p.m. If you're admitted to the emergency room anytime after 6 on a Saturday, these hours will greatly impact you because once you are sent home and Sunday morning rolls around, you're going to be in a lot of pain. So I took action to get answers about this potential problem.
A city the size of Huntsville and as progressive as the city of Huntsville is, deserves to have a 24-hour pharmacy.
The Crestwood Emergency Room sees about 130 patients a day.
I mean, all of them are going to get a prescription, and half of them will be after 6 o'clock at night.
With the new hours at CVS, sometimes hospitals will have to send patients home with a prescription that they can't get filled.
Let's say that CVS closes on the weekend at 6 o'clock at night, and I see a patient at 6 o'clock at night who has a broken bone. There are government restrictions on what we can dispense in the emergency room. We certainly can give that patient pain medicine.
But when they go home,
that patient's going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning with severe pain and have nothing to take.
it's up to you to tough it out until a pharmacy opens. But if the patient suffers from something like pneumonia, waiting to get a prescription filled could make matters worse, because without the antibiotics, the patient becomes more ill.
Or make us alter our care. Give someone a shot that we wouldn't normally give them a shot, which would cost them more and potentially inflict pain.
Sounds like a pain in the butt.
When they could have just taken an oral antibiotic if they had somewhere to fill it.
And I'm not talking about the shot. It's past 6 o'clock.
You're just out of luck.
Now, I reached out to CVS to see what caused them to make this change. Coming up tonight at 6:30, I'll tell you what I heard back from them and how we want to hold them and other pharmacies accountable. Boy, am I impressed. Now, today was the soft opening, but tomorrow is the grand opening. It's been a long time coming. Approaching these doors for the first time seems so surreal. It almost makes you nervous. Then you realize all the expectations of freshness are fulfilled. High quality and natural goods that you've always dreamed of.
I love everything here that I've seen so far, the buffet and the juice bar. Very excited about the juice bar.
To say that people were excited is an understatement.
Have you seen that cheese section? I wanted to climb in the cooler with that.
Falling in love with every section.
The wine section.
A variety of customers, all here for different reasons.
Design, the food, and like how local it is with all the food that's here. It's really amazing.
I'm excited about Whole Foods because it's just another store where we can offer local produce, organic products, and a variety of different things.
It's not just your average trip to the grocery store.
You know, the experience is what we really focus on. We want folks to know how excited we are about our products, and I think it's evident right when you walk in the door.
They offer fresh handmade pasta, sushi, brick oven pizza, coffee. I mean, the list goes on.
I need a bigger buggy.
As you can see, people are pumped about Whole Foods. And that guy was right. Their cheese selection is on point. Live in Huntsville, Hannah Ward, WHNT News 19.